On Friday, Volker Turk, the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, called for de-escalation and urged the warring parties to give peace a chance. For more, let's speak to Thameen Al-Kheetan, a UN Human Rights spokesperson. He joins us from Geneva. Thameen, nice to have you on the program. The US, Israel, and Iran all appear to be ignoring Volker Turk's message, and now the expectations are not only will the war continue, but that it's going to intensify.
And the impact and the consequences on civilians and innocent people across the region will be devastating unless this war ends and the parties to the conflict come again to their senses and stop this craziness. We have already started to see the impact on civilians in Iran, in Israel, in Lebanon, and across the region, and even beyond the region of the Middle East. People have been killed. People have been forcibly displaced. Hundreds of thousands of people, and also, there is a huge economic impact that will go beyond the region if this conflict continues, with a huge risk for people's right to food, to health, and to many other human rights, which are basic necessities for vulnerable communities in the region and beyond.
Yeah, and when we look at this, what human rights abuses have been documented so far?
I mean, we have seen a number of attacks in this conflict that raise questions about respect for international humanitarian law, and especially the principles of precaution, proportionality, and distinction. Parties to the conflict must be reminded of their obligations to take all necessary measures to avoid harm to civilians when they conduct hostilities. And we have seen a number of events that raise questions with respect to these obligations, whether they were respected or not. And there needs to be a number of investigations in each and every one of these events. We have seen the school that was hit in Iran. We have seen a number of attacks in Lebanon where civilians have been killed, and we have seen rockets falling on neighborhoods in Israel and across the region, where we have serious concerns about respect for distinction, proportionality, and precaution. Parties who conduct these attacks where civilians are killed have the obligations to investigate and to bring those responsible to account.
Yeah, and Thameen, just to remind our viewers, the school attack in Iran reports say up to 165 students were killed on Tuesday. Your office called for an investigation into this attack. Just giving everyone the benefit of the doubt here, if they can all agree that children should never be targeted, then why can't we get some more momentum behind an investigation?
This is a question that's very important, Will, and it needs to be asked to parties to the conflict. We are aware that the US government had announced that they are investigating this particular incident with respect to the school in Iran. We urge the American authorities to go on with this investigation and to announce the results of this investigation. As I said, this is the responsibility of any party that conducts any attack to investigate. And this also applies to attacks that are happening in Israel, in Iran, in Lebanon, and across the region as well. We also know that the continuing of this war will only lead to more suffering, more misery to civilians and people who are innocent, who have nothing to do with the motives behind this war. And it will lead to only more suffering and not any kind of solution that respects human rights. The only solution to any differences in this region is a negotiation.
Yeah, this is something of a gray area, Thameen. We're sort of in uncharted waters here. That school bombing, some say it could be the case of mistaken AI targeting. This war has seen artificial intelligence deployed in a way like never before, and that has raised a slew of moral and legal questions. Thameen, if AI is selecting targets, and if an error is made, who's accountable? Is it the AI algorithm? I mean, what do you do in this case?
Human responsibility is paramount here when AI is used in any form of attack. What we need here is when authorities or any party to the conflict is conducting attacks that involve the arms that use artificial intelligence. There must be a human element to take the final decision. We know from past conflicts in different parts of the world that when we combine the use of AI with definitions that are not completely restrictive, or definitions that are permissive of international humanitarian law principles, especially proportionality and precaution, and then the decision is made to conduct an attack based on AI information without further scrutiny and due diligence from the party conducting the attack, it raises exponentially the risk of civilians being affected and being killed. And there, it is still the responsibility of the party that conducts the attack and that is using artificial intelligence. Of course, companies that produce arms using artificial intelligence also have the obligation to make sure that the arms they produce comply with international humanitarian law principles of precaution, proportionality, and distinction, and are not used in the commission of human rights violations.
Thameen, thank you so much for your time. Thameen Al-Kheetan joining us from Geneva. He's the UN Human Rights spokesperson. Thank you, Thameen.